The sky is sealed in endless white, no dawn is there to breathe. Our breeze, freezing mid-air, shattered silence on our lips. Footsteps vanish in the storm, erased by crawling death. Yet I still hear your trembling voice calling through the drifting night. Frozen banners bowing grief beneath our merciless horizon. Steel grows brittle in our hands, scarred by hopeless wars. fear, then I will carve truth from the fall. If salvation was never prepared for us here, I will shoulder the weight of it all. Through the tremor of doubt and the fracture of will, I abandon the shadow I was. Even if Fractures into radiant shards of dust and shattered echoes of yesterday ripple through my veins again. I chase a fading horizon, carved in sparks and broken vows. With every breath igniting scars the storm could never erase. Through collapsing dreams and silent cries beneath the speeding night, my heartbeat races faster than the falling tears of fate. The road ahead is burning. becomes a blade that cuts through every test. From the ruins of collapsed belief, I carve a blazing sign above beneath collapsing stars. The destiny is mine, even if the heavens fade and drown within their tears of flame. I will run beyond the edge of gods and scream my curse true name. This broken light still lives in me, a fire that will not cease. I am the scar the darkness feared, the wound that will not sleep. The sky frozen shut with prayerless stars above our eyes. A brittle moon hangs trembling like forgotten lullabies. We breathe in silver silence where tomorrow dares not speak. Every heartbeat cracks the ice of promises too weak. Our footsteps echo softly through a world afraid to burn. Ashes sleep beneath the snow where buried torches yearn. We clasp these trembling hopes as if they still remember flame, whispering the names of dreams the darkness couldn't tell. Before the last flame fades away into the endless frost, we lift our wounded voices for the fire we have lost. Even if the gods have fallen, even if the skies betray, we will run toward the ember where our fear dissolves to gray. Through the screaming wind of ending, through the night where futures die, we still believe in burning light beyond the final sky. The frozen tears of Valkyries fall like broken crystal rain. Each drop a silent requiem for unsung fields of pain. Across the pale horizon where the wolves of twilight roam, we hear the dying heartbeat of the world we call our home. Yet in the cracks of sorrow something stirs beneath our feet, a trembling pulse of tomorrow in the ruins of defeat. Though the sun has sworn to vanish in the jaws of endless dark, we carry stolen dawn light as a trembling fragile spark. Before the last flame fades away into the endless frost, we lift our wounded voices for the fire we have lost. Even if the gods have fallen, even if the skies betray, we will run toward the ember where our fear dissolves to gray. Through the screaming wind of ending, through the night where futures die, we still believe in burning light beyond the final sky. final war is written in the scars we cannot flee. Then let our trembling courage carve one last decree. Even frozen prayers can scream when hope begins to wake. And from the edge of annihilation, we will shake the dark awake. Before the last flame fades, we will set the heavens alight with shattered vows and bleeding inside my